All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back, man. So I told y'all I got everybody got spirit animals. You might have a spirit animal. I don't have a spirit animal. I have a spirit cousin, and today I got my spirit cousin on Tajbin John Taj, man. Let the people know who you are, man, and where they can find you before we get started, man.
Hey, what's up, cousin? What's up, Smokescreen? My name is Tajbin John. I'm part of the YouTube channel Bars and Joysticks. We do things like hip hop, video games, comics, politics, going bar for bar with people, and just having a good time. Like just getting ourselves out there. We're kind of like an up and coming YouTube channel, and Twitch stream channel as well. And so pretty much just making it around, saying hi to everybody. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, man, that name, man. When I was watching some of your videos a couple days ago, and you were explaining your name, I was like, "Dog, that's smart, man." Because I've been watching your videos low key. But bars and joysticks, man. The bar for bar, meaning you going bar for bar with your debates, man. Y'all got to check out my cuz debates. Some of the best debates, man. Just going at people. Taj, bro, let me tell y'all, man. So I'm sitting there chilling, watching TikTok, scrolling through TikTok, and I see a video with these people going up to this black dude. He's in the middle of a bunch of Trump people, and I'm like, hold on, I know this dude. And I sent it to Taj, and lo and behold, I was like, Taj, is this you? Yeah, how did you find? Where'd you find this at? Taj, man, just tell the people, man, about some of the things that you get into, man.
Yeah, so sometimes I hit the ground. I like touch grass and I just go and talk to people in the local area. I'm to out myself, I'm out in Orlando, Florida. So that video that it got like 1 million views on TikTok. I was like so shook. I was like so surprised. That was at an event called CPAC. It's like one of the biggest conservative conferences like in America, if not the world. So there was there's a very chaotic 2 days I was out there. Um, and yeah, just pretty much talking to people, seeing whose minds I can change or at least influence a little bit. And just getting to know people, the reasons, like just kind of like why they thought the things they thought. To me, I really do think that like things like marketing and philosophy and politics are really close to psychology. And as like a kid, I always liked psychology. I wanted to major in psychology back in high school before I realized it was like a tough thing to get a job with, um, like degree wise. But I'm still a fan, you know. So that's kind of like part of the reason why I'm just interested in politics and things like that.
Yeah, so one video, like we were talking before, man, because man, I'm gonna tell you, we doing this episode now. It's 11:45. Me and Taj been talking since 9. He been schooling me on a whole plethora of things. But man, Taj, so one thing you said in the video is that you try to find common ground with everybody, and everybody has a common ground, man. And I can, bro, like I told you, though, that's one thing that I try to live and strive with, man. We can all find a common ground in everything, no matter who you voting for, who you believe in. The ground is always leveled somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, and common, yeah, finding common ground is like super important when talking to people, especially when you come with like a different political side and a different political part of the spectrum, like complete opposites of people. Um, I I had someone tell me this a while ago at a job I used to work at. It was kind of sales focused, and they were saying that when you control people's expectations, you control their happiness with certain things. So say, hey, I'm gonna meet you at 9 p.m. at this time. When you get there at 8:59, they're gonna be happy with you. If you get there at 11 p.m., then they're not gonna be so happy with you. But you set that expectation for yourself, and that's kind of like how you controlled, like, or kind of like influenced like how they felt. So when you talk to people and they know that you are a part of a different spectrum, and when they go on Fox News and they see, oh, BLM, Antifa, crazy liberals, they hate America. And so they come with that expectation that you're crazy, that you hate them, that you hate America, that you want to kill pregnant women, that you hate white people. Um, then they're gonna have a certain expectation, and when you crush that expectation, like when they expect something bad, and you show them that something's not so bad, they're gonna be pretty happy with you, and it opens up like a really interesting time where you can kind of shake up their perception, and show them what's really real, and get to really real conversations. Kind of like the exact same way, like say like you're in, like you get a bill for something, right? And you think, oh my gosh, I think I got like $1,000 bill. Oh crap, I don't want to pay this. You find out it's only $100. You're gonna be way happier, even though you have to pay $100 for some BS reason versus paying 1,000. It's like when you like get a test score back and you thought you bombed that test. Like I probably got like a 15% on this test. Gosh dang, my grade's gonna go in the tank. And then you found you got like a 60 or a 70. You're gonna be like, whoo, whoo, whoo. That's gonna make your day, even though you got like a mediocre grade. So kind of influencing people's perceptions based on that, that gives you a lot of room to like build rapport and to build connection with others. And it's better for you because you get to talk to people and you get to see where people are coming from, and it's much better for them, especially when you're trying to like build connections with people that don't have the best perception of you, because it gives you the opportunity to establish like just like a new line of thought. You're not going to convert them all the way to whatever side you're trying to influence people on politically, but it just lets you establish those baby steps, and that's a great thing to hope for and a great thing to achieve.
Yeah, do you find it hard to like carry that burden trying to, because like with me, man, I work in my side gig and I be thinking like I try to be the best person just so when the people who may not think that us as black people or black men that that we had ability to be strong black men, but when they see us and they come across us and they know how knowledgeable we are, then do you find that as a burden that say, okay, you know how knowledgeable I am. So when you see another person that looks just like me, you think of me and say, okay, I'm gonna respect them just like I respect Brandon or respect Taj. You feel like that's a burden sometimes? Like it's hard to keep
Man,
up.
yeah, it kind of is a burden. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of tough sometimes. And I remember having this burden faced on me being a kid. I remember one time I cut up in school really bad. I was young, man. I was under 10 years old, like probably like second, third grade. And I went to like majority white school. So my mom told me this. She told me point blank. And it stunk to hear, but I don't think she was wrong. She was like, "Hey, like when you talk to people, you're setting an example for all other people, you're building the impression for people's understanding of black people, of black males in your demographic. Whenever you do something, so when you come up in class, your peers, the white peers, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. But they're gonna think that that's what black men act like, and that's what black males act like. And those teachers, when they see you cut up, they're gonna think, oh, this is all black male students. For years down the line, you might influence their perception of black males, and that's like it hurts to tell a kid that actually.
Yeah.
I don't think she took any pleasure in saying that at all. And if I asked her about it today, I feel like she wouldn't even acknowledge that she said that to me and
Yeah.
my brother. But she did. She did. All right, I'll put it out like that. But I don't think she's wrong.
Nah.
And just as I said earlier, setting expectations is like really important. Making like managing other people's like happiness. That's important to set that me like young me's expectation that way, where I realize, okay, how I act today can influence people's perception tomorrow, for better or for worse. It's kind of stupid that it's like that. I really wish that MLK's dream of everybody being judged by the content of their character, like, we're 100% true. It was like a reality for today. I don't see it as a reality. I
No.
really don't. But that's just how life is, and that's how we got to push forward. Um, that's it's the life we live, you know.
Yeah, you roll with the punches. But Taj, man, you big in the creative, man. What got you into it?
Man, got me into being in creative stuff. I hmm, I was pretty decently creative as a kid. I didn't realize it early on. Um, when you're like 5 and you're working with things like arts and crafts and crayons, I hated that. But when I got onto a computer And when I got to playing things like video games,
Video games. That's
and
all y'all. Kingdom Hearts. Boy, you and Timmy used to kill that game, man.
I used to love that game. I used to love games like Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I used to love games where you, even if it was like very like light amounts of creativity, like things like Tekken 5 for the PS2, and gosh, what's the game? Star Ocean for the PS2. We have very light, minimal Soul Calibur 3 PS2, awesome. We
Mhm.
have very light, minimal like character creation opportunities, or you can customize your character. I was like, I like customizing things. Arts and crafts kind of sucks. I don't like touching crayons. I don't like getting like sticky things on my hands. I'm not a fan of that. But if you get me behind a screen and I can like influence something and make something look the best that it can in any way that I can, then that's kind of fun. Like hopping on MySpace and customizing your MySpace profile and customizing and adding those stupid layers off a photo bucket. If anybody remembers photo bucket to your MySpace picture.
Yeah.
Remember, remember, I don't even know if photo bucket's around anymore. Shouts out to them now. That's really cool. So it's just something that I gradually like kept up with. When I got into high school, well, actually back in middle school, I really got into hip hop. So I was interested in like just writing rap lyrics and stuff like that. So I pursued that in high school a little bit more. I still kept up with things like very minimal graphic design. I'm not a master at all. If you throw me in front of like Adobe Illustrator, I can't turn out something really great, but I can like edit a photo decently. Or I can
Yeah.
make like a goofy GIF or like a goofy social media post that people like laugh at, or a decent looking YouTube thumbnail. Um, so being creative like that is like really cool. I find it relaxing in a way. And it's also really cool when you see something you're like, I can't believe I made that stupid stuff. Uh, so, so that's something that I find really enjoyable.
Yeah, can you like pinpoint where you said, because Taj, man, like I said, you my spirit person, man. Like, can you pinpoint a time where you said, I want to get my voice out and make sure it stays out there and keep it out there, where you found your voice and found your place?
Man, oh, I found my voice, found my place. Man, I feel like there's like a few different times. Like when I was younger, I really wanted to be a lawyer just so I could like just like argue. I really like to argue different points. Um, I think that's something that influences what I do this year was 2020. Because I wasn't at this level of creativity or of productivity like back in 2019. I was living a different life, kind of. So 2020, like it was like the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, like Black Lives Matter uprisings and stuff like that. So that really influenced like how, and seeing people's posts on Facebook, you know, those high school friends you graduate with, haven't seen in years, and then they just go on crazy rabbit holes. And you're like, dang, I was this kid's friend in high school. Why are they having these weird, crazy opinions, man?
It hit,
Like,
boy, and like, dang, we used to have sleepovers at your house, dog. Like,
yeah. Like,
you,
bro, we were sharing food in the cafeteria together.
yeah,
What happened? What happened? And just like seeing like talking crazy about black people, man, just talking crazy. Um, so seeing that, just that influenced me a lot. That was like really eye-opening. And like you see like a few things every now and then, and like it just like you're like whatever, but like when you see that in mass, you're like, that's insane. Um, that really influenced like how I want to impact the world. Like I always was interested in politics, right? But I never really like acted on it too much. I volunteered with a political campaign back in college as like an internship opportunity, but pretty much that was it. And like a very, very, very light volunteering, maybe like once a year. So ever since 2020, I was a little bit more into activism. So I was showing up to marches. I was going to Trump rallies. I was going and meeting Trumpers, and I was seeing like why they thought the things they thought, and why they had those expectations of what Black people were, and what America should be like, and how America and just like how things should be and how the world should be. And I was like kind of like dissect and understand how this became to be, because like it's hard for me to say that I could ignore this, right?
mhm.
And it's really easy to ignore these things. There are so many times where I would have rather been on home on YouTube doing certain things. just like watching TV or watching the latest episode of Comics Explained or something like that on YouTube, and going to sleep. You know, it's such a comfortable thing, and for some reason, like it's really comfortable. But say like you have like a candle that's like by the drapes, right? And you can see that from like your bed, and you know that if you don't get up and to remove that candle, then you're gonna wake up on fire.
God
So
dog, Taj, boy.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, bro,
Boy.
I don't. It's cold outside. It's
Woo.
cold away from these blankets. I would love to get and stay in these blankets. Just close my eyes, let someone else handle it. Then you realize, oh crap, man. I don't know if other people are gonna handle this. No
Like,
one else is gonna
man,
take this candle away.
I can't
Am
let
I gonna wake
it
up? Am I gonna wake up charred? All right, I'm already very dark skinned, bro. I don't want to be. I don't want to be crispy, you know. So those things just kind of like influenced me to like kind of understand like how to talk to people and how to influence people, because this isn't just my life. This is like what I do today can influence what happens to my kids, to my grandkids down the line. I'm in fortunate spots because my family did certain things before I was even born.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, I'm in a good spot because people like MLK did certain things before I was born. I'm in a good spot because just like certain things like slaves got free, like abolition happened, people like Harriet Tubman happened, people like Abe Lincoln, for I know he was a flawed individual, happened, you know.
Mm.
Um so I feel like it's my duty as someone that's like alive right now, reaping the rewards of people that planted these trees that were just seedlings by the time they died, right? That are now trees now that I can enjoy the shade of. I feel like it's my duty. It'd be massively irresponsible, um, and just kind of like contemptuous of the next generation if I didn't do anything to help out. So when I talk to people that were like really deep Republicans and seeing if I can influence people change minds, or at least like influence people that can possibly be swayed that way, I'm talking to people that'll one day vote, that can make political decisions, people that can like put their name on the ballot. And I know like people have different opinions on voting. That can put their name on the ballot and influence the country of going in a better direction or a worse direction. And I know that's like something that's not like so like each person, each individual voter isn't the strongest thing in the world, but like together that can have like massive impacts. And it does butterfly effects. The things I do like today, like man, that can butterfly effect, bro. Like in ways that we don't even like think about. It's uncomfortable to think about how these things can influence the future. Um, so I just want to turn the fire off. I don't want to wake up one day, realize I'm on fire because I did certain things and I wanted to sleep in that one moment.
Taj, boy, that was, man. Well, I could end the episode right there, dog. You that was, boy, Taj, that's a good one right there, dog. Cause bro, I never thought about it like that, man. Cause bro, man, you be out there, bro. You been hand in hand, man. Y'all gotta really watch my cuz stuff, man. This dude has been toe to toe with the top of them that's on that side, man. The one you had with Gun Girl, dog. Hey, you, man, bro, I couldn't do nothing but smile about that one, man. Like when
Thank you, man.
I couldn't do nothing but smile. Y'all don't know who Gun Girl is, man. I posted. Y'all just gotta watch it, man. Cause, man, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I found out about it last year, when I found out about it, I tweeted about it. I was like, bro, it made me so proud to see my cousin doing this, man. It made me so proud to see my cousin doing this, dog. But like, what's your mindset going into these interviews and these debates with these individuals?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I kind of think about it in like a multifaceted kind of way. On some level, I hope, I don't think, but I hope I can change their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen. I really believe that it can happen. If they come to me with like an open enough mind where I can change their mind. But more importantly, besides just them, there can be potentially hundreds, if not thousands, of people watching that video. And if I come incorrect and they get that easy win on me, then those people can be swayed towards the wrong direction. But if I like handle their objections, say they say something really dumb, and I'm like, bruh, that was really dumb. Like don't and I like make people think and realize that things are really dumb. Like you wouldn't believe how many people when they talk about slavery, they're like, well, black people sold other black people into slavery. I'm like, bro, they had buyers, right? Like, so they're like, I've literally seen people like try to blame slavery on Africans, and I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, like what's wrong with this perspective? And I feel like that's the first time they've heard that rebuttal to that thing to that common thing that's being said. Because I've heard that said so many times that black people sold other black people to slaves, and like there's so many erasers that's wrong. As just as one example, there's so many more. Like black on black crime, people will talk about without realizing that like crime's like a proximity thing. Like the majority of white murders are done by white people. The majority of like Hispanic on Hispanic crimes are done by Hispanic people. It's all proximity, but they just talk about black on black crime to obfuscate and to like kind of pull you away from other more important issues or for the root causes of those issues. It's man, it's tough sometimes because it's kind of like a lot of pressure going into these things. You talk to people that as soon as they see you, like they think you're such a bad guy. They think that, oh, this person hates America, blah blah blah. They're gonna put you in a box so quickly, and you got to break out of that box fast. But yeah, some of these things can get tense. Like talking online, you can get clipped and then put on places like Kiwi Farms. They can Google your first and last name and find out where you live. If you talk to people in person,
hold on, what that is?
Kiwi Farms is a place. It's where like a lot of white naturalists go. There's a lot of doxing information that's on places like Kiwi Farms. I don't think there's anything on me just yet on Kiwi Farms. Possibly down the line that can happen though, which is scary. It's a scary thing. I'm not a big enough target, fortunately. But yeah, the internet's a scary place if you mess with the wrong people. I try to come off likable. In-person events, like things can get violent. You can get arrested. Getting arrested is a real possibility in person. I don't know if that video is still on YouTube. There's a place I used to go to on Tuesdays in a town called Castleberry, Florida. And I remember one time during
real quick, shout out my boy Thomas. He stay out there in Castleberry.
Thomas might have heard of this thing.
Yeah.
There was legitimately one time where there was like a fight. Well, multiple fights broke out because it was every week. Things would escalate to violence like every now and then, and it was not the safest place because like you can go to a bunch of different people in like a Trump rally and a Trump like type thing. You can talk to someone that hates black people, thinks that black people are all lazy, half humans. You can talk to someone else that just wants to vote for Trump because she wants school choice and she hates abortions. You can talk to someone else that just cares about guns and is down to shoot you whenever they have any excuse to. I've met people that are friends of George Zimmerman. Like I met a guy, and he knows me by name, I know him by name. And he is a good friend of George Zimmerman's. Like they go out for drinks every now and then. There was one time where someone pulled out a gun on somebody else at that event. People have been pepper sprayed before. Somebody on the Trump side, like, actually punched the cop. Like, I think they knocked the cop out. Yeah, so things have gotten violent. Even in that TikTok, I almost got into a fight right before that, or right after, sometime within like a 30-minute proximity of that TikTok being filmed. I almost threw hands with somebody. If I didn't get like pulled away from someone on my side. I know it's kind of shameful. I try to be very peaceful. I have to Wayne Brady it. But sometimes you gotta Wing Chun it.
Hey Todd, man, if you come down to it, dog, sometimes you gotta pull granddaddy knife out, man. You gotta kick somebody real quick, man.
Oh my gosh.
I on somebody, man. But Taj, man, dog. That's why I say, man, you my spirit person, dog, man. Bro, dog, I just love. I can't even call it, man. I just love it so much, bro. The stuff that you do and just going, because I'm like, man, I be wanting to say these things, but with how Ron D got with this being a state of Florida employee, you can't say nothing.
Oof,
You can't go nowhere. You can't be out there, bro. You cannot do anything around. You can't let them see you around like anything with a protest. You better not be around it. because they will try to, you know, I'm not trying to just even if I'm not even out there doing anything, but if they somehow see me out there, then you can lose your job being working. But it's crazy, man. Like, and you're in that area, bro. I know it's skipping around on the docket, but you was talking about the different places around in Castleberry and stuff. But I noticed a lot of that is coming out of that Central Florida area, and I noticed a lot of like Ron D. He don't be up here in Tallahassee. I rode by the Capitol the other day. It was a bunch of SUVs, black out SUVs at the house, you know, the governor's mansion. So I know he was probably home then, but he's never up here. I noticed he's always in that Central Florida, the Tampa area. So have you come across any like rallies with him there, or you been to any?
He was at CPAC, but he was like in and out without me even knowing about it. All right, so
did you see gold Trump?
I did see the golden Trump. Yeah.
Was it really gold?
It was gold, man. I don't think it was like true gold. It was probably like fool's gold or just like gold, really convincing gold paint on it. But no, that thing was real.
People like falling down, like worshiping now. Like, man, this is some crazy.
People, yeah, it's literally the golden calf from the Bible, except it's Donald Trump in American boxer shorts, man. It is crazy that people were legit. I feel like they were legit like worshiping it. It's crazy. It's just so strange to me. It really is.
Yeah, man. The growth of like Orlando, dog. Like, how much has it grown? Because I know you Orlando to the fullest, man.
Yeah, COVID shook it up a little bit, but it's coming back. It's growing in numerous amounts of ways. There are some decent YIMBY projects that are being proposed that I'm looking forward to myself. They're growing like new apartments, new eating locations. Like, I really like those little yuppie areas that have like a bunch of like hip cafes and stuff all in the same area. I love that. So it's not just the downtown area, it's like the near downtown areas and adjacent areas as well. It's the iDrive area where like the big tourist traps are. Don't tell the tourists it's a tourist trap. Let them, that's a real Orlando tourist. That's a real Orlando. Trying to get some money for the economy over here. There are new Disney projects that are opening up. Downtown Disney is like a beautiful place. It's really cool. It's really cool. Expensive, but cool. The Lake Nona area in Orlando is expanding more and more and more out by the airport. I know somebody that recently bought a house out there. I think the property value of that's going to go up because of all the stuff that's happening in Orlando. People are moving here all the time. So yeah, Orlando's a great place. I'm trying to think of like innovative stuff in Orlando. They're considering working on like air taxis. I don't know how far away that is.
Yeah, I know your dad was telling us about it at Christmas, man. I'm real interested in that because I know he told me the next car that we get, knock on wood, needs to be a fully electric. He told me it's like a year ago.
Yeah, they're expanding on different electric projects. There's a park by my house, and every now and then I'll go there and I'll see like a car parked there. It'll be like different Teslas parked, just charging up. I don't think they take overnight to charge, but there's like public utility. Anyone can drive up there if they have an electric car and charge up. And Teslas are a beautiful car. Just a side note. Yeah. I finally went in one last year. Oh wait, well, I finally accelerated in one last year. Sorry about that. First time I went in one was like 2019 or something like that, but they drove super slow. I saw one accelerate from 0 to 60. Those things can make you borderline nauseous, man. It is that fast. I don't think human beings are meant to go that fast that quickly because it will go like you will feel it in your guts.
Did you get it with the automated?
Yeah, they have an automated mode, the sports mode. The dashboard has games on it. You can play like Tetris and stuff while the car is driving you. It's pretty cool.
That's crazy. I watched this dude on TikTok. Like, his dad was sick, so he was up in New England. He drove from New England to like Fort Lauderdale or something, and just let the Tesla drive him the whole way.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that sounds like a fun ride.
He had his pillow in the front seat with him. He was laid back, browsing his phone while the car just drove him through. I'm like, gosh, man, that's crazy.
That's the future.
That's crazy, man.
You don't
But
even need a driver's license. I wonder what that does to driver's insurance. Like, do you need that anymore if the car drives itself?
Elon Musk paying your your bill. Dog, Taj, man, we were talking about before we got off, man. Before we got on, we were talking about influencers, man. Like the different social media influencers and stuff, man. What was it that we were talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about like running ads online, and different ways to reach out to influencers. I have a marketing background, so I did a few internships with like different influencers, social media influencers, so people on Instagram, people on YouTube primarily. And they're interesting. Just because like the prices vary based on like the audience size and in the specialty. So if someone's like a sports influencer, they can have a different cost than a mommy blogger or from someone that does something really niche in tech. And they can have the same amounts of followers, but that niche and that genre of what type of influencer matters as well. It's very interesting. The prices vary. Sometimes they're open to working with people, sometimes they're not. It all depends on like how you gain their interest and what they're interested by. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's the fun of it.
I never thought about like if it's a common ground, they both have 50,000 followers, but because that person has this certain genre, they gonna get paid more than that person, even though y'all got the same amount of followers, but because that person is in a certain genre, that person would get paid more. It's so much you done taught me today, before we got on, bro, about this whole little influence and how these markets are ran, man. If you want to just speak on that just a little bit, don't give everybody the sauce now. You remember I told you. I'm trying
to yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to think of. I don't want to give away too much. I'm not trying to give away too much game. Yeah. So, dang. I don't know if I should continue talking. Do you want me to continue talking about like influencers? Like,
yeah, like how
why
influences like Google and then YouTube, like how does all that work?
Oh, so things like Google ads and stuff like that, and Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Yeah, so these things are really cool. I said I like psychology. I think that running an ad is like, it's like applied psychology. It really is. Like you really get to examine and see like what works with people, like what variables do what and which variables don't. It's a kind of a crash course. Like I'm in no means in any way, shape, or form like a master at all. If I was like a Pokemon level from like 0 to 100, I'd probably be like level 8, 9, 10. Like if I even scratch 10, there's just so much to learn. But it's a beautiful thing because it's like it's very lucrative and it's very fun once you get into it. And if you're really interested in like learning more about psychology. So pretty much like we were going over things like how to run an ad on YouTube. And pretty much like to do that is like you have to go through Google because Google acquired YouTube sometime, I forget what year, a long time ago. I think like 2010 or something like that when they finally like bought YouTube. So those ads that you see on YouTube videos, maybe even on this video on YouTube, if you guys are watching on YouTube, there are ways to like choose like which types of videos, which genres, the demographics. So if you want to choose like a man that is aged 18 to 24, that lives in Minnesota, or even the city that lives in, say, like Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Bowling Green, Kentucky, or El Segundo, California, or New York, New York, you can choose away and swipe away. You can choose the time. So if you want it, so say if you have like a restaurant that's open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you don't want your ads showing at 8 p.m. Like, why would you want that? You know, there's no point in your ad showing at 8 p.m. when your restaurant's already closed and it's not going to open for another 12 hours or so. So you can choose what time that ad shows. So you can choose the lunch rush hour. So 11:30, if you want that ad to show, oh, I'm looking for lunch. Oh, see this ad? I might go here and consider it. You can choose how long that ad runs. If you want it to run just a week long, if you want it to run from now until the end of the year or until next year, probably, you can do that. Gosh, I'm trying to think of other it's so crazy because you can choose their interests. To say if somebody likes video games, you can choose to show it to that person. If that male between 18 and 24 has an iPhone, you can only choose 8 males 18 between 24 that have iPhones, and you show that ad on YouTube. you can see what you can base it based on like their Google searches. So if they Googled, what would a male 18 to 24 Google? What was I Googling when I was between 18 and 24? I'd say like Tinder best practices. Someone Googles that on Google. You can show an ad about something like that. It goes all over. So if you're ever wondering, like, hey, I was shopping for this, and that over the holidays. Why am I getting ads for this now? Hey, I was looking up crypto this, NFTs that. Why am I getting crypto.com ads? Then those ads targeted you. Like, for me, I get a lot of sperm donor ads, like so many in the Orlando area. I think every male between like 24 and like 30 something probably get ads like that. But that ad shows to men. They target men with that. I don't think that many women get ads asking you to be their sperm donor, unless something happened wonky with the targeting. So this is all like really cool. And then seeing what people respond to and what people reply to and what people like convert. When I say convert, that means they click on that ad and they go to where you want them to go. So if you want them going on your shopping website, if you want them going on to your blog, if you want them going on to your podcast or your YouTube channel, you can make that happen as well. It really is the future of commerce. Well, the present of commerce, you can do it now, but it's the future as well in its own way.
It really is, man. Because as we get on in and we close this out, like I'm gonna ask you about this big political race coming up. But as you were talking, and then it just hit me, these Google ads about to pick up a lot in this area in Florida with the governor race coming up this year. It's about to hit a lot, man. It's about to hit a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna flood everybody. Oh, you can target 18 and up. Oh, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hit, man.
Yeah, man. So Taj, man, let the people, what kind of stances should we look for in this next governor race coming up in November? I know it's early. Yeah, what type of good stances should we look for? And you know it's gonna be Ron D. He gonna be the one everybody looking for. Then we got Nikki Fried and Charlie Chris.
Charlie Chris, yep. Yeah, first things first, I would recommend looking at how the bar is so low at this point. It is so low. All right, I'll mask off. I'm completely anti-DeSantis. I think he's gonna win, but I'm anti-DeSantis. But I think we should look at people that hold progressive values, like people that consider not just like themselves, but also the people of the entire state of Florida. So that can be like how they treat the environment. Like, are they going to be a simp for big sugar? Are they going to let people like Nestle?
You know what got me about that big sugar, man? I just saw a documentary, right? And I found out about how that big sugar is going on in Florida. I didn't know it was two brothers that's running that. And one of them is a Republican, one of them is a Democrat, and they're playing both sides of the field. I did not know that, dog. Like they were talking about, it's on Vice. They were talking about how when when Clinton was in office, him and Gore was supposed to go at the sugar industry, but they were supposed to make I forgot the name of the rule, but they were supposed to get tax sugar right on the products. Mm-hmm. The dude who's the brother that's the Democrat side, he contacted Bill Clinton while Bill Clinton was breaking up with his girlfriend, Monica Lewinsky. He contacted her. He contacted them, let Bill Clinton know, don't run this deal. And when he did that, Bill Clinton changed the deal and basically changed to where they not taxed. I'm gonna tell you what also got me. Nikki Fried and DeSantis were the only ground that they did see eye to eye on was going at the sugar industry, and all that vanished out of it went away. So the sugar industry is something that really needs to get attacked, bro. Taj, man, I'm so happy you put that, you said that, man. Because that's really, really something in Florida. It's a great Florida product and export, but it's something that's really need to get looked at, dog. Because it's not only, like you said, affecting us, it's affecting the whole country. Because that sugar that comes out of here, goes across the whole country.
Yeah, and it's the things like the red tide that are a consequence of how we treat the sugar industry. And like, I feel like we can do small tweaks, like, and this goes in a lot of different ways, like very, very small tweaks with the big sugar. Like, how are we treating their wastewater? How are we treating their plants? Like, what can we do that's more responsible? Like when people say that cows are messing with the ozone at the meat industry, we can feed cows things like epizote and other herbs that can reduce flatulence, because cow flatulence is really messing with the ozone layer.
Yeah.
Right. If we can incentivize things like that in the state of Florida, and like how we feed cows and chickens, or even incentivize things like alternative protein sources, like the way that we treat things like meat versus like tofu is kind of silly. I think it's kind of silly. There's so many. I know so many people, guys in particular, that like, I need to eat meat. I'm gay if I don't have meat every day. And like, I'm like, bro, come on, man. We're adults. You can have tofu, man. You can have like tofu is actually pretty good. You just gotta season it well. Don't let these white vegans push you off, man. Like, once get you a black vegan friend, all right? Speak to your neighborhood black vegan. They will give you that jerk chicken tofu sandwich, bro. Oh, okay. You don't need that. It's healthier. It's better for the environment. So things like that matter to me. They also things like cutting down certain Florida wetlands for development reasons. That's not good for us in the long run. Things like ignoring climate change or the importance of recycling. All right, I don't know how it is on other beach towns, but the beach towns I go to the most are Cocoa and Flagler and Daytona, right? New Smyrna too. And every time I go there, I can't find recycling anywhere. All right, I've noticed this for years, and it's always frustrated me. Because the last time I found recycling in a place like Daytona Beach, it was at the Wawa. And then like the attendant at Wawa was like, bro, why are you looking for a recycling bin, bro? And like, he showed me something. He opened up the thing, the bins to like remove the trash cans, right? And he's like, yo, this is the same bin. The trash and the recycling go in the same bin. We don't actually recycle. And I was like, bro, what? To have a beach town in Florida, like a place that relies on clean waters, not having recycling, things that like negatively affect ocean life, the quality of the waters in your friggin' state is astounding to me. So keeping things green the bar is that low. Like, I feel like people on both sides of the political spectrum should give a damn about it, but I'm not seeing it. I want someone that's against companies like Nestle, like taking the water out of I think it's like the springs by Alachua. Not Gainesville Springs. Or maybe it's Silver Springs. There's some like spring in Florida that like Nestle and other bottled water companies are taking, and it's going to dry those springs out in the next 10 years. Or we're going to have droughts because of certain environmental policies that we're seeing right now today. It kind of hurts because like I plan on living in the state for life, but I don't know if that's going to be a viable option in a few decades to come.
Yeah, man, because like what really gets me, man, is how like you were talking about how it's called the seven spring. Hold on.
What's you know what I'm talking about?
It's called Seven Springs, I think. But they're gonna nah, man, Santa Fe River.
Santa Fe River. Okay, that's by Gainesville.
The Guinea Springs.
Guinea Springs. Okay. Thank you.
Shoot, don't we own some property up on the Santa Fe River? I think we do, man.
It affects us.
Yeah,
look,
man, come on, man. Knock on wood, we keep that going.
Yo, man, I want that property to escalate in value, not to deteriorate in value.
Exactly, dog. We right up under the railroad.
Yeah.
Right there, the good brook.
Yeah, who deserves more money, me or Nestle? All right, Nestle didn't they have like things like coups in South America and like mercenaries and stuff? Like, I've never hired a mercenary. All right, I need that money more than they do.
And what gets me is like that west coast of Florida, like over here with Panama City, Pensacola, they always vote that other way, right? But yet that other way don't care nothing about their way. Like that water, that what they people sick can't even really go outside when the red tide. They telling them stay inside, but yet you letting these people vote for you, voting for these people, and then they forgetting they gonna come around this next couple months, especially during the summer. They gonna come around during the summer, but then they gonna go missing after the election time. After you just voted these people in, where you have what gets me is they have Nikki Fried, that's the agriculture and consumer services, that's over this type stuff, and that's there trying to help you, but they're not gonna vote for her because she's a lady and
she's a lady, she's a socialist, blah blah blah. She's not even a socialist, but they're gonna use that word. They're gonna run the mile with that word. They might do a double lap of the mile, man. Yeah, that's just scratching the surface. That's the bare minimum. We haven't even talked about things like how education gets funded. We haven't talked about things like how public transportation can affect poor people and working class people and be better for the environment. We haven't even talked about like police accountability in the state of Florida, because our police unions are encouraged to be crappy. Like Ron DeSantis doing that law where the state pulls back funding on any city that defunds the police. That is wicked. That's ridiculous. That's unproductive. That shows me that you care about like flexing on the liberals versus you care about your own people, or people that are supposed to be your people in the state. Man, I got a vaccine, not a vaccine test. I got a COVID test the other day. I had work at 12 and I got to the line at 10. And I thought, okay, it'll take me 2 hours tops. I know the line's going to be really crappy. I'm just going to take my L. I'm going to sit in this line for 2 hours. That's my thought. 2 hours max. I'll be done by 12, maybe miss like 20 minutes of work. Bro, by the time I got tested, it was like 3 o'clock. I sat in line for 5 hours for a COVID test. For a COVID test. I'm not doing that for my health. I'm doing it for other people's health. And like having it where it's like cars only. So you're saying that people that don't own a car can't get tested at this location, where I had to wait, even so I had to wait 5 hours. That's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. Just to like get false COVID numbers. It's disgraceful. How DeSantis is treating things like the First Amendment, where if if 3 or more people can protest at the same time for the same cause, then it's up to law enforcement to determine if that's a riot or not. So that's going to affect conservatives down the line. You don't think that if someone that was super blue got elected governor, and if there is like a pro-life rally with 4 people that got a tablet rowdy, and that gets called a riot, and that RICO charges can come after you in your organization? Like people y'all don't understand what a RICO charge is, bro. I don't understand. It's scary though. It's unconstitutional.
See,
All
bro,
right.
I didn't know they was gonna try to play them type games with RICO charges on individuals like
They
that.
can give you that RICO charge. So they're gonna hit people and lock people up for like very little reason. I think that messes with bail as well. Like where even if it's like something super minor and you get locked up for it.
So when you say defund the police, Taj, let the people know when you say because I heard this on one of your debates. But when you say defund the police, let the people know what you mean by that.
Yeah, when I say defund the police, people think that I mean like, oh, there's no police officers ever again. All cops are gonna be homeless and out of a job. Our unemployment rates are gonna go up. No, I mean that we remove the excess funding that police that like law enforcement agencies have in different cities and counties. If you look at the budget for a city like Orlando, Florida, or for Tampa, Florida, or Jacksonville, Florida, you'll notice that the biggest thing that eats up the budget is not transportation, it's not events, it's not any other sort of thing. It's law enforcement. A lot of the time, more times than not, it's law enforcement that will eat up a city budget. But I ask, like, are there not better things we can use that money for? Like, can't we fund things like after school programs for kids, better public transit? like there's so many poor people in the state of Florida where I'm so glad I have a car, man. That's a blessing in itself. Where they'll have to wait an hour for the bus to go to their job interview or to go to work. That's just untenable. There's just so many ways we can use that funding. That's less taxpayer money being spent on excess funding. So no, I don't mean that like cops go homeless or that there are no more police officers or anything like that. I mean that money gets used in more responsible manners. So that does mean pulling back on the funding a little bit. Maybe excess police officers and excess gear can go away and gets taken out of commission or sold off or done away with. Like, I remember in 2020, we saw like long range audio defense weapons, LRADs. And those things, like what they do, they produce like big sonic blasts. They can like rupture your eardrums if you're not having protection. Earbuds aren't protection, but I was just saying if you don't have proper protection, that the collateral damage and the funding for that, because I don't even know how much those things cost. I tried looking that up. I had to ask for a quote and then talk to a salesperson. They're not going to talk to a civilian about that. But how much you want to bet those things cost a bunch of money, and they're not useful. They're not useful at all. There's so many ways that
sometimes they try to get like militarized with the police, like
yeah,
they army type of supplies for the police and don't really need that all that type stuff.
Yeah,
like tanks, stuff like that, bro. Wait.
Tanks, like putting guns on top of police vehicles, which Grady Judd has tried to do. I think he actually got away with that. Where he's trying to put guns on like
he wild boy Grady Judd.
Yeah, it's not going to shoot bullets. To be fair to him, it's not going to shoot bullets. It's going to shoot like trackers onto cars, or something like that. But still, that's someone that's like, bro, I'm not trying to fund Batman with my taxpayer dollars. All right, like especially like Batman that have a racist history.
With that one, I can get it because like they don't want to do the high speed chase.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The track on the car, but Grady Judd is a character himself, man. He's all over TikTok with his antics.
Wayne Ivey as well. Yeah. Where they?
Do you think a good mayor combats that? Because I know, shout out, man, John, Mayor Daley up here in Tallahassee. He stands on his own, man. That's one reason I think Ron D doesn't be up. He's not up here because he's not. The mayor doesn't really. Him and the mayor don't see eye to eye.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, so he's all about, hey, let's bring about these mental health psychiatrists that go into the community, and let's scale back on some of the money that the police is getting. Let's cut a couple funds out and let's give it towards community outreach, community help, being around the community more, man. How important is that for us to vote with mayors when that election comes up in a year or two?
Yeah, I think that getting mayors and voting for mayors that have the people of the city in mind, not just what looks good to their party or what looks good for their career so they can one day leave the city and go to Washington or whatever. But what really helps the people and their livelihoods, their businesses, like the community safety that will last generations to come. If we don't invest in, like, say, the children of today, then when we're old, when we're in our 60s, like, who are those kids going to become if we don't invest in them? You know, like, I would hate to be in my 70s getting mugged by a 16-year-old because that 16-year-old had parents that didn't invest in him, and so like he didn't have like the education opportunities that other kids had, so he's out here mugging 70-year-old men. I would hate to go out that way. All right, I don't want to get smoked by a teenager when I'm an old man. And I don't want teenagers to be smoking old people today, you know. But like we really need to invest in the youth, like bring out things like more opportunity, like more rehabilitation, more things that will make them feel a sense of real community. All right, just so they can invest later on when they come to that age. It's all an investment. Like I talk, like it's so crazy that I'll talk to people that are like pro business, pro that. Like community is an investment as well. And when you don't invest in that, then that thing's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you in different ways.
It's your business can't go nowhere if you're not investing in your community.
Yeah, you can save that tax money and invest in a nice car, but if the road's crappy, where are you gonna take it? Where are you gonna take that thing? Like if you park somewhere, go to the mall, and you find the windows busted and your Christmas gift stolen, like like I would have rather invested in that prevention before the cure, you know?
Yeah, true that, man. But Taj, man, before we get off though, I really do appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, dog. What's next for you, bro? Because I'm interested to hearing this, man. What's next for Taj?
All right. To not give too much away, I'm probably gonna pull up the CPAC again. It's in Orlando again this year. I'm gonna pull up again. I'm gonna pull up again. They ain't gonna stop me. I ain't scared. Um, I'll just do everything in my power to not get that RICO charge. That's scary. I'm gonna invest my time to help out different politicians in my area. So I'm really excited for one person. The person I'm most excited about is this one guy named Maxwell Frost. He's a young cat, 24 years old. He's taking a lady named Val Deming's seat. She's
All
moving
right.
on to fight Marco Rubio. So
Yep.
Maxwell Frost, this kid's 24 years old, man. He's literally a Zoomer. He'd be the first Zoomer in Congress if he won. And things are looking really good for him right now. So I'm really excited. I recommend everybody finds like one politician that they're excited for. But besides that, I'm also gonna just push more online. Um, be a little bit more of an advocate for better ideals and for a better world. That means like debating more conservatives, spitting game with more people on the left, people that are more left than I am even. Um, and also just kind of working for a better place. My goal actually, just like this is like a vanity goal for me. I'm not really in online spaces for the money. Like I don't care if I make money and can quit my day job from this. But I want to do things where I influence a lot of people. I want to get those big names following me and to be an example for them. So I want to a year from now, I want to be on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, man. That's a goal of mine. I love talking to Black conservatives. They're so interesting to me. Like, I feel like I'm in Arkham Asylum whenever I talk to them, man. Where I'm like, wow, this is why you're like this, huh? Because
It's
you'll meet some
dark.
people
It's
that
a dark
had.
place once you get there to see why they like that. It's a dark place.
It's a dark place, yeah. Like, there's some people that had some really messed up like childhoods and like experiences that led them become like how they are, especially like conservatives. Um, on Urban Dictionary, there's a word called repuberty, which is means like puberty to make you a Republican, right? And one of the examples is like, yeah, man, Bill hit his ever since Bill got mugged by a black guy, he hit his puberty. He's a Republican now. And that's like just a traumatic experience can make you like kind of like a worse voter and like worse not for the better off, but for the worse off philosophically, and morally. I know this one guy that I met in Castleberry. He's a young guy. He's like 21 years old. He's this young, gay, black Confederate. Like he has a rainbow Confederate flag, and he's out here waving the Confederate flag, but rainbow style, on the street corner, and a lot of these conservative people are cheering him on.
I think I've seen him on TikTok.
Yeah, I've met him before. That guy, he's had bad experiences with black people in the past because black people have been known to be quite homophobic. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. So I've spoken to him before. He's very standoffish with me. He knows my name. I know his name. I feel bad for him. Like he's had a tough upbringing that led him to those conclusions in life. And people like that, like really like my heart goes out to him because I feel like I'm very lucky. I'm one of the luckiest people on the planet, man. I didn't have the experiences that made me like that, but he did, and I don't know if it's his fault that he had those experiences. Even though it's his fault that he acts in those ways, it's not his fault that he had those experiences that made him want to act in those ways. Waving a Confederate flag as a black person on the street corner, being cheered on by people that don't think highly of Black Americans. The irony is not lost on me. Yeah, I think it's probably lost on him, unfortunately. So yeah, talking to them more, and just seeing to get because when there's one, there's going to be many more. So trying to get to the root of all that is really important to me, and just seeing how I can influence the world and change the planet for the better.
Yeah, man. And before we get off, let the people know where they can find your stuff at again.
Yeah, of course. My name's Tajbin John. I'm with the YouTube channel called Bars and Joysticks. Bars is in like hip hop bars, spitting bar for bar. That's what they call like lines in hip hop. And joysticks like video game joysticks. Um, I like both of those. My channel mates like both of those. Shouts out to them. Shouts out to Michael Seuss. Shouts out to Paco Escobar. Shouts out to Jairi. Bringing in that flavor. Um, and and yeah, like all cool people. We'd love to have you. We talk about things like hip hop, talk about like music reviews and things like that. I most recently did a review of Hawkeye and of like Christmas albums. I'm probably gonna do a review of the new Nas album pretty soon. Talk about video games, like things like the Steam Deck, Nintendo Switch, different fighting games. Because I think that black men really love fighting games, man. Like Tekken's and the Street Fighters and yeah, Soul Calibers, all that stuff is fun. It's really fun. So yeah, we'd love to have you guys. Yeah, thank you.
What song you want to end us out with, Tosh, before we get off here? What song you want to end it out with?
Man, do you know if we can play a song called?
You play any song you want to, bro. I'll find it somehow.
I think it's called Blitz by Mello, like C Mello. What's this guy's name? Gosh dang, I can't find it. All right, let's not do that one then. Dang, what song, man?
You just text me, bro. Whatever it is, I'll play it.
I should have that on deck. Okay, Blitz by CMC Jock, JOCC.
CMC
Jock, JOCC. It's called Blitz.
All right, I got you, bro. So, man, once again, man, that's another episode of Smoke Screen Podcast, dog. Y'all know how we do, man. I appreciate y'all for checking us out, man. Good episode, Taj, bro. I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Smoke Screen.
Hey, fine, dog.